The 8L90 transmission contains fundamental design flaws that severely impact its reliability and performance. The most significant issue is in the valve body design and its hydraulic control system. Three critical flaws affect the valve body. First, the design fails to maintain consistent hydraulic pressure during shifting operations. Second, poor machining tolerances lead to accelerated wear of critical components. Third, the valves often fail to create adequate seals, leading to pressure loss throughout the system. Another major design flaw is in the torque converter, which fails to properly manage heat dissipation under heavy loads. The torque converter generates excessive heat during operation, especially under stress. This heat buildup is due to poor heat dissipation capability in the original design. The insufficient fluid capacity limits the converter's ability to transfer heat away from critical components. Additionally, the cooling passages within the converter are ineffectively designed, further compromising heat management. These design flaws create a pattern of cascading failures throughout the transmission system, starting with the initial design flaws in the valve body and torque converter. These lead to premature wear of internal components, especially the clutch packs and bearings. The premature wear results in erratic, inconsistent performance with harsh or delayed shifting. Eventually, these issues compound to create complete system-wide failure of the transmission. These fundamental design flaws necessitate significant modifications to achieve reliable performance. One of the most common complaints with the 8L90 transmission is the severe shuddering or vibration, particularly during light acceleration. This issue typically occurs at speeds between 25 and 80 miles per hour. Drivers describe the sensation as similar to driving over rumble strips on the highway. This problem is caused by torque converter clutch slip within the transmission. The friction material on the torque converter clutch plate deteriorates prematurely. This deterioration creates inconsistent engagement of the torque converter clutch, resulting in the characteristic shudder that many drivers experience daily. The 8L90 transmission is notorious for harsh, clunky shifts, especially between first and second gears. This jarring sensation occurs because the transmission control module fails to properly modulate hydraulic pressure during gear changes. The pressure spikes cause mechanical shock to the clutch packs and planetary gear sets, accelerating wear and creating an unpleasant driving experience that worsens over time. A critical design flaw in the 8L90 transmission involves how the transmission fluid becomes contaminated with metal particles. When functioning properly, clean transmission fluid circulates through the system, lubricating components and dissipating heat. The internal components, particularly the clutch packs and valve body, experience excessive wear during operation. This generates metal shavings and particles that contaminate the transmission fluid. These metal shavings circulate through the entire transmission system, creating a destructive cycle. Let's compare the impact of this contamination on the transmission's precision components. The metal particles cause blockages in vital fluid passages and create abrasive surfaces that further damage precision components. This contamination cycle accelerates the transmission's deterioration significantly. The 8L90 transmission often fails after only 50,000 miles instead of the expected 150,000 plus miles of service life. This happens because metal particles cause accelerating damage in a self-reinforcing cycle. Component wear creates particles, which circulate through the system, causing more wear and further contamination. This cycle of contamination is a fundamental flaw in the 8L90 design, leading to premature transmission failure and costly repairs. The valve body in the 8L90 transmission acts as the control center, managing fluid flow and pressure throughout the system. Inside the valve body are numerous precision channels and solenoids that control fluid flow and pressure. These components require extremely precise manufacturing tolerances. Manufacturing tolerances in the 8L90 valve body are often inadequate. This leads to inconsistent channel dimensions and pressure leaks at critical junction points. These tolerance issues directly affect fluid flow and pressure control. When fluid moves through these improperly machined channels, pressure leaks develop, causing erratic shifting patterns. The solenoids themselves are prone to sticking due to contamination. Metal particles and fluid breakdown products can accumulate around these precision components. When a solenoid sticks, it fails to activate or deactivate properly. This directly impacts shift timing and quality, causing harsh or delayed shifts. The valve body castings themselves can develop porosity issues. These microscopic holes in the metal allow transmission fluid to seep through areas that should be sealed. This porosity creates unpredictable hydraulic behavior throughout the transmission system. As pressure builds in one area, it may unexpectedly leak through these micropores to another area. These valve body defects create system-wide issues that affect the entire transmission. Unpredictable pressure regulation leads to inconsistent shift timing and harsh clutch engagement. As these issues progress over time, transmission performance continues to degrade, leading to a poor driving experience and potentially premature transmission failure. These valve body defects significantly contribute to the overall transmission problems in the 890. The 8L90 transmission suffers from significant software and control issues that compound its mechanical problems. General Motors has released numerous software updates for the transmission control module, attempting to fix shifting problems. Despite multiple software revisions, the fundamental issues persist. These updates merely treat symptoms without addressing the underlying mechanical design flaws. The transmission's adaptive learning algorithm attempts to optimize shift points based on driving conditions. However, the adaptive learning system cannot properly compensate for the mechanical deficiencies in the transmission design. This creates unpredictable shift patterns that vary with driving conditions and temperature. This graph demonstrates how the actual shift pattern, shown in red, deviates unpredictably from the expected pattern in gold. Notice the erratic behavior, with unexpected downshifts and irregular timing. These unpredictable shifts are especially problematic when accelerating or in varying temperatures. The core problem is that software updates can only mask symptoms. They cannot fix the fundamental mechanical design flaws in the 8L90 transmission. The 8L90 transmission suffers from significant heat management deficiencies that compromise its reliability. During normal operation, the transmission fluid temperature should remain within a safe operating range, but the 8L90 regularly exceeds these limits. The problem is especially pronounced under demanding conditions such as towing or driving in stop-and-go traffic. The fundamental issue lies in the cooling system design, which fails to dissipate heat effectively. This excessive heat accelerates the breakdown of clutch materials and seals, leading to premature component failure. The thermal stress created by inadequate heat management affects multiple components throughout the transmission, significantly reducing its operational lifespan. Unlike properly designed transmissions with effective cooling systems, the 8L90's heat management deficiencies create a cycle of accelerated wear that affects multiple systems simultaneously. General Motors has issued numerous technical service bulletins to address problems with the 8L90 transmission. Several key TSBs have been issued since 2016, including TSB 16NA175, 16NA04, and 18NA355, each addressing specific transmission problems. These TSBs typically recommend three main repairs: transmission fluid flushes, valve body replacements, and transmission control module software updates. While these repairs provide initial relief, they typically offer only temporary solutions. The symptoms tend to return over time, usually within 3 to 6 months after the repair. The core issue is that GM's technical service bulletins address only the symptoms, not the underlying design deficiencies of the 8L90 transmission. This is why problems continue to recur despite multiple repairs. These ongoing issues and inadequate fixes from GM have led many owners to seek legal remedies, including class action lawsuits. The Rabinovitz versus General Motors class action lawsuit is a significant legal challenge to GM regarding the 890 transmission. Filed in the Eastern District of Michigan, this lawsuit alleges that GM knowingly sold vehicles with defective transmissions while concealing these defects from consumers. The legal complaint details how GM allegedly knew about serious transmission problems, but continued to market and sell affected vehicles without addressing the issues. The lawsuit covers numerous vehicle models equipped with the 8L90 transmission, including popular trucks and SUVs from Chevrolet, GMC, and Cadillac brands. Plaintiffs seek compensation for repairs, diminished vehicle value, rental costs, and other damages incurred by owners of these vehicles. Let's examine the specific allegations made against General Motors in this lawsuit. The case has progressed through several stages since it was initially filed in May 2019, with amended complaints and eventual consolidation with other similar lawsuits. The Rabinovitz case represents one of several legal challenges to GM regarding the troubled 8L90 transmission, with significant implications for affected vehicle owners. The Duffy versus General Motors lawsuit represents a significant legal challenge to GM over the 8L90 transmission. Filed in the Central District of California, this class action alleges that GM violated consumer protection laws. The lawsuit presents several key allegations against General Motors. First, the plaintiffs claim GM violated consumer protection laws by selling vehicles with known transmission defects. Additionally, the lawsuit alleges that GM was aware of these issues during the development phase, but proceeded with production anyway. The complaint states that GM prioritized profits over product quality and customer safety. The lawsuit presents evidence suggesting GM's knowledge of the transmission issues increased over time. According to the plaintiffs, GM knew about the defects during development, had confirmed knowledge at launch, and continued selling affected vehicles even as complaints mounted. The Duffy versus GM lawsuit is part of broader legal actions against General Motors regarding the 8L90 transmission defects. The Heinzman versus General Motors lawsuit was filed in the Southern District of Florida. This class action focuses specifically on the shuddering and harsh shifting issues in the 8L90 transmission. The lawsuit makes several key allegations against General Motors. First, it alleges that GM's attempted fixes through dealer service have been consistently ineffective. Vehicle owners were forced to pay for repeated repairs that failed to resolve the underlying problems. The suit further claims that the transmission issues were never properly addressed, leading to significant depreciation in vehicle value. The Heinzman lawsuit seeks several forms of compensation for affected vehicle owners. This includes compensation for repair costs already incurred, reimbursement for the diminished value of affected vehicles, and coverage for future transmission-related repairs. The financial impact on vehicle owners has been substantial. Many owners report spending thousands of dollars on multiple repair attempts, with the transmission problems returning shortly after each repair. Additionally, the widespread reputation of these transmission problems has significantly reduced the resale value of affected vehicles. In 2019, multiple lawsuits related to GM's 8L90 transmission were consolidated into a multi-district litigation. Before consolidation, multiple similar cases were filed across different jurisdictions in the United States. The cases were consolidated in the Eastern District of Michigan, bringing together similar claims from across the country. The multi-district litigation alleges that General Motors violated warranty laws and consumer protection statutes. Consolidation streamlines the legal process while representing thousands of affected vehicle owners. The consolidated litigation continues to progress through the court system, representing a significant legal challenge for General Motors. The economic impact on owners of vehicles with 8L90 transmissions has been substantial and multifaceted. Many owners have paid thousands of dollars for repairs when their vehicles are outside of warranty coverage. Even owners covered by warranty have experienced significant inconvenience, with multiple dealer visits and extended periods without their vehicles. The resale value of affected vehicles has decreased substantially once these transmission problems become known. After just 3 years, vehicles with known 8L90 transmission issues can lose an additional $7,000 in value. Vehicle owners face numerous hidden costs beyond direct repair expenses. These include lost wages from taking time off work, rental car expenses, emergency towing services, and the substantial hit to trade-in value. The total economic burden on 8L90 transmission owners combines direct repair costs, significant time without their vehicles, and substantial resale value losses. This multifaceted impact often exceeds $10,000 per affected vehicle. These economic factors combine to create a substantial financial burden that extends far beyond the initial cost of the vehicle. Moving from the economic impact on vehicle owners, let's now examine a specialized solution. Transmax Transmissions has developed a specialized repair solution for the 8L90 transmission that focuses on addressing the root causes of failure rather than simply replacing worn components. Transmax Transmissions, located in Ocala, Florida, has engineered a series of modifications that correct the fundamental design flaws in the 8L90 transmission. Their specialized approach focuses on 3 critical components: the valve body, torque converter, and hydraulic control system. Each component is re-engineered to correct the fundamental design flaws in the original transmission. Their approach costs significantly less than a complete transmission rebuild. While a dealer rebuild can cost around $5,500, the Transmax solution typically costs around $2,800, providing an average savings of $2,700. Beyond cost savings, the Transmax solution provides significantly improved durability. Their reinforced components prevent recurring failures through improved hydraulic pressure control and reduced heat and friction damage. In the following sections, we will examine each component of the Transmax solution in detail, starting with their valve body modification. A key component of Transmax Transmissions' repair solution is their proprietary valve body modification. The valve body is a critical component in an automatic transmission, controlling hydraulic pressure and fluid flow to operate the clutches and bands. The 8L90 transmission suffers from inconsistent hydraulic pressure during shifting, leading to harsh shifts and erratic behavior. Transmax engineers have redesigned critical passages and pressure control elements to maintain consistent hydraulic pressure during shifting. These modifications focus on 3 critical areas: redesigned pressure control mechanisms, improved flow passages, and enhanced timing control. These engineering improvements eliminate harsh shifts and erratic behavior by ensuring proper clutch engagement timing and pressure modulation, addressing one of the primary failure points in the original GM design. The torque converter is a critical component of the 8L90 transmission that has been a source of significant issues. Several design flaws in the original torque converter contribute to the transmission's problems. The original friction material degrades rapidly under normal operating conditions. The lockup clutch engagement mechanism is prone to slipping, causing the characteristic shuddering. Heat buildup exacerbates these issues and leads to accelerated wear throughout the transmission. Transmax Transmissions has developed an enhanced torque converter rebuild process to address these issues. First, they replace the original friction material with a more durable compound that withstands higher temperatures and pressure. They also modify the lockup clutch engagement mechanism to ensure smoother operation and precise pressure control. The Transmax rebuild includes improvements to heat dissipation capabilities, reducing overall transmission temperature. By addressing the root causes at the torque converter level, Transmax prevents the cascade of failures that typically follow torque converter problems. Let's examine the key technical improvements in Transmax's torque converter rebuild. Transmax replaces the paper-based friction material with a superior carbon composite compound that has significantly higher durability. The apply pressure system is optimized for smoother engagement and disengagement, eliminating the harsh shifts and shudder. Heat tolerance is improved from 200 degrees to 300 degrees Fahrenheit sustained, reducing thermal breakdown. Finally, the entire assembly is upgraded to heavy-duty specifications, suitable for towing and high-load applications. The Transmax torque converter solution delivers multiple benefits to 8L90 transmission owners. It completely eliminates the characteristic shuddering under all driving conditions. Heat generation is significantly reduced, which helps maintain fluid integrity. Drivers experience smoother power delivery and improved overall efficiency. By addressing the root cause, the solution extends transmission life by preventing related failures. Even in high-stress conditions like towing or high-temperature operations, the upgraded converter maintains resilient performance. The Transmax torque converter solution represents a comprehensive approach to resolving one of the most challenging issues of the 890 transmission. The Transmax repair package includes significant upgrades to the clutch pack assemblies in the 8L90 transmission. Original GM clutch packs often suffer from premature wear, delamination of friction materials, and uneven pressure distribution. Transmax installs improved friction materials with better heat resistance and durability. Their modified pressure plate design ensures more even distribution of clamping force across the clutch surfaces. These enhancements prevent the premature wear and delamination issues common in the original GM components.
Let's compare the costs between Transmax solutions and GM dealership transmission replacements. A complete transmission replacement at a General Motors dealership typically costs between $4,000 and $7,000, depending on your vehicle model. By contrast, Transmax Transmissions' targeted repair approach typically costs between $2,000 and $3,500, offering significant savings. The economic advantage of Transmax's solution is substantial, going beyond just the initial cost savings. Customers typically save 40 to 60% compared to dealership replacement costs. Transmax uses a targeted repair approach that specifically addresses the root causes of the 8L90 transmission failures. Their improved designs eliminate the original flaws found in the factory transmission. Most importantly, Transmax solutions often deliver better long-term durability than even a new OEM transmission, which would still contain the same design flaws. In summary, Transmax Transmissions provides a more cost-effective solution that often delivers superior long-term performance compared to factory replacements.